Excel Appendix A, pages A7 to A9, using the proper function and the concatenate function. Okay, if you don't know what a proper function does, and you don't even know what the word concatenate means, that means you need to read that little short few paragraphs on page A7, okay? Once you've done that, and do not go on until you have read that and you understand what these do, we're going to go to A7 and go to combine the names in one column with standard capitalization. Select cell C2. Okay, there's C, there's 2. And then insert a table column to the left. Now remember, we just did this. So on the Home tab, okay, we're going to go over here to the cells group, and we're going to go click the down pointing arrow and insert, and we want, what did we want? Table rows to the, table column to the left. Okay, table column to the left, right there. Okay, you should know how to do that because they just taught you how to do that in the last section, so make sure that you can do that on your own because you'll be doing it in your homework. All right, so a new column named column 1 is inserted to the left of the city and state column. Okay, here's our city and state column. Here's column 1 right to the left of it where we ask it to go. All right, step number 2, in cell C2, which is where we're currently located. Okay, in cell C2, type equals concatenate. Okay, equals concatenate. Open parent is already in there for me. Proper. Okay, proper. Open parentheses. Open square bracket. Checking, I'm going really slow and trying to watch and make sure I don't make a mistake. Okay, and then we've got last name. We should have a closed square bracket, and then a closed parenthesis, and then a comma, and then an open quote, comma. Trying to look and make sure I'm doing this exactly right. Open quote, comma, space, close quote, comma, bracket, and okay, stop right here and make sure you did that exactly right. I'm going to stop and go over mine and make sure that I don't have any typos or any errors. So hang on 1 second and let's just go over that really quick and make sure there's no errors. Okay, so before we hit enter to take this, I want you to look at page A7. And I want you to go to the line that reads, to include a comma and a space between the two names. It's about 2/3 of the way down, a little bit just above the last paragraph that starts with the word James, okay? It says, to include a comma and a space between the two names, you must change the formula to equals concatenate, and you can see the whole, read the whole formula yourself, which uses a function, 2 values, and a string constant, which is a comma and a space enclosed in quotation marks. Okay, so looking up here, you have to make sure that you have right here, it's comma, space, quote, comma. Okay, and when you have that all right, hit your enter key. Okay, if it didn't work and you didn't get that quite right, you can always go back and edit in your formula, right? So if you're missing that space right there, literally just click in there and put your space in. Okay, and it should say Whitney, comma, space, Natalie, okay, right there in cell C2. Okay, step number 3, autofit column C. Okay, autofit column C to accommodate the longest entry. Each cell in column C displays the player's name in the form of last name, comma, space, first name, with the first letter of each name capitalized. Checking mine and making sure. Notice that the joined column is no longer wide enough to display some of the entries. You will resize this column later. Okay, see figure A5 on page A8 and take a look at that and make sure that your Column C, which is right now has a title column 1 on it, is correct. All right, to paste the formula results as values and delete the original data, select the range C2 to C45. Okay, C2 to C45. Whoops, come back. Apparently that selection offended our dog. Okay, so we selected the range C2 to C45, and then we need to copy, correct? Copy. Select cell C2. Now you only want to paste the values. You should know how to do that by now. We've done it in past chapters, and we did it just a minute ago. So ask yourself, what are the steps to just paste the values? Okay, it's really easy. Okay, right there where it says paste values. Okay, press your escape key once you've done that. Okay, auto-fit column C, which we already did, it's fine. Cell C1, right there, enter the word player. And then delete columns A and B. Okay, again, this is something you should know how to do by now. Okay. Now you can see that your player column is right here with the last name and the first name, and hopefully it's completely correct. All right, applying the text to columns command. Go ahead and read the bottom of page A8, and when you have that finished, go up to the top of page A9 to split the city and state data into separate columns. Select cell C2. Insert a column to the left. Again, something you've done a ton of times and should be able to do really quickly by now. A new column named column 1 is inserted to the left of the zip column. Select the range B2 to B45. Now, be careful, don't come over and pick this up even though you see words sticking out over here. It's truncated, okay? It's truncated. So don't do that. Just get B2 to B45. Now, if that makes you uncomfortable and you're not happy doing that, we can always, it'll let me, get in here and auto size this, okay? So that you can see the whole thing. If it makes you more comfortable, do it that way. And then select B2 to B45. Okay? These cells contain the values you want to split. On the ribbon, click the Data tab. In the Data Tools group, click the Text to Columns button. The Convert Text to Columns wizard, Step 1 of 3 dialog box opens. You select how the data is organized in this step, delimited or a fixed width. If you don't know what the word delimited means, you need to go back and read the bottom of page A8 before you go on. Step number 5. In the original data type area, okay? So you need to read this box from top to bottom, and you're going to see that right here it says original data type. Verify that the delimited option button is selected. My radio button right here is selected, it's blue. If yours isn't, make sure you click on it. And then click the Next button. The Convert Text to Columns wizard, Step 2 or 3 dialog box opens. You select the delimiter character in this step. The data in the city-state column is separated by a comma. Step number 6. Click any checkbox with a check mark in the delimited section to remove the check mark, and then click comma. Okay, so there's a check mark in tab, which we want to get rid of, and we want comma. So make sure there's no check mark in your delimiters except for the check mark next to comma. The data preview box shows the city and state data in separate columns. See figure A6. Okay, so look at figure A6 and make sure that your Convert Text to Columns wizard Step 2 of 3 dialog box matches the one that's in the book exactly. Okay, it should look exactly like the one in the book. Step number 7. Click the Next button. The Convert Text to Columns wizard's Step 3 of 3 dialog box opens so you can set the data format for each column. The data preview box shows that each column is set to the general number format, which is what you want. Okay? So we can see right there, column data format is general. Go ahead and click the Finish button. Cities remain in column B, states move to column C. In cell B1, enter city. In cell C1, enter state. Auto-fit the widths of B and C. Take a look at figure A7 and make sure that your screen looks like the one in figure A7. Okay, that's the last part of this video, and you're ready to move on to the next one.